Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula 1 chat. Today we're talking about W Series. We're back with W Series. It's been a very long time actually.
29th and 30th July in
Budapest, of course. And it was Alice Powell who became the first driver to stop Jamie Chadwick winning in 2022.
Major change.
Will that continue into this weekend? I'm not so sure. But here in Singapore, it's going to be a very different race to what we've seen so far in the W Series. Canada, of course, Singapore known for its high attrition. We're going to be racing at very high altitudes. It's safe to say that these W Series cars aren't, to the same level of the Formula 1 cars, going to be able to deal with the temperatures. So could we see a few shocks? Will we see a few cars go pop?
I don't think we'll see many shocks because
You don't?
I think at such a tough racetrack it'll be the best drivers that will come out on top, and it'll be the likes of the back markers who will see struggle.
Interesting. Yeah, fair enough. That's going to be interesting. More admin as well to get out of the way. Teresa Beitske unfortunately cannot take part this weekend due to a crash she suffered in Freca, where she's damaged her spinal cord, I think.
Yes.
Which obviously is a horrific injury and wish her the best. It also means that, unfortunately for her, she will miss the Formula 3 test. She was set to take part in a Formula 3 test, and obviously gutting news that Visser can't take part in that.
Well, we're predicting us is now, at this moment in time recording, we don't actually know who's replaced her.
Yeah,
so
she's
at the
not
moment,
been replaced
She is
yet.
called Beitske replacement.
I'm going to get into my Beitske replacement, who sat 18th.
See, I've done my predictions before Beitske was injured, but
Right.
again, I've also gone Beitske replacement in 18th.
Fair enough. It makes sense to realistically. They're not even. There might not be a car on the grid. They might just not put in another entry, and if it is someone who's obviously not driven the W Series cars yet, then you'd imagine there's going to be a slight. They're not going to be at the same level of performance and removing the other channel branding. Should we get into some predictions then?
Yes.
Both with 18th for Beitske. But after that, can you run me through your back seven up to the top 10?
Sarah Moore 17th, Judy Noda 16th, Tomaselli 15th, Fabian Volvend 14th.
Big shock.
Volvend down. She's not been great this season.
She's usually in around the lower half of the top 10 though.
Well, she will cut through the grid.
Okay.
14th Volvend, 13th Bustamante, 12th Marta Garcia, 11th Emily de Hoyce.
Wow, that is very high for Emily de Hoyce.
Yeah.
Struggled a bit this season, Emily.
I've got my top 10.
Is it a bit rogue?
P10, I'll say now, Abby Eaton.
It is a bit rogue, to be fair. I mean, she's been around there. I mean,
7,
8. Paul Ricard, she was there. But yeah, I've got Bustamante 17th and de Hoyce is 16th. Jess Hawkins, P15. Singapore is a track where you cannot make mistakes. I feel like Hawkins has a mistake in her.
Yeah.
We've seen that a few times this season, and I think she's going to have another error here. If you make a mistake, you're into the wall, qualifying over. And I think she could also ruin the runs of a few other drivers. But that's going to be... She's not going to crash it in the session. It's going to be about halfway through the session, so shouldn't have too much of an impact. Then Noda 14th, good result for her. Eaton 13th, Moore 12th, and Chloe Chambers just misses out on the top 10.
I've done my P10.
Since you've done your top 10, I will indeed. Belen Garcia. Poor result considering her lofty placement in the championship right now, but still in the top 10, still able to push forward, and even if she doesn't, should be able to stick in the points.
Yes.
But yeah, go on. Who have you got in P9?
Emma Kimalainen. It's not been a great season.
That's a big
for her.
shock.
It's not been a great season.
P4 in the championship though, still, I believe.
Yeah, well, that's also P9 again. It's tough qualities for these W drivers. They're going to push on in the race. P9 for Kimalainen.
Oh, to be fair, P7 in the championship.
She's had a terrible
Some
season.
high-profile errors though this year, but overall, I think she's been the second quickest, other than Jamie Chadwick.
Okay.
I think she's just not converted many of those, much of that pace into points. P9, I've got Bruna Tomaselli, someone who's not really found herself in the big points so far this season. Hasn't really been a good switch of teams. Of course, was with the Veloce team last year, but yeah, they called it a day, and now struggling in her new team. P9's not terrible, but yeah, I mean, still similar to Belen Garcia, not really where she wants to be, but that gives her a chance at good points.
P8, I have Chloe Chambers. I've been really impressed with the American in the Gen Racing. Yeah, I think she's done very, very well.
I would argue the opposite.
Right.
A point to her name, 16th in the championship, in probably the best team.
I still think she's driven well, and I don't think... I think that you say that because Chadwick's in Gen Racing. I don't think.
Yeah.
You can't do anything else to change the car.
No, but setups.
Yeah,
The
what I'm
personnel.
saying is if it isn't Jamie Chadwick in that car, I think Chambers would be much closer to them.
I don't know.
If it's Jess Hawkins,
Well, you'd imagine they'd be
Chambers
closer,
would be
but-
much closer.
Chambers has only scored 1 point this year.
I still think she's driven well.
Okay, well, each their own, but I think a point at this stage in the championship, not really good enough from Chambers so far. It's been disappointing. I thought she'd be a lot higher, but yeah. I mean, you've clearly got her doing well, at least around here. Maybe she can hit a stroke of form towards the end of the season, but I mean, she's sat 10
And
points
this
at
is
the moment
quality,
behind
just to
Tomaselli.
say, this is
Yeah,
quality,
of
not
course.
race.
As for my P7, right? P7, P8, where are you?
do
P8. Okay, well, P8, I've got Fabian Volvend. Mixed fortunes for her this season. She is about ninth in the championship, I believe. So 8, pretty fair representation of where she's been this year. And then P7, I've got Emma Kimmerlinen. She's going to be 2 purple sectors, bins it in the third,
So only
throws
2
away her
places
lap.
of thing in mine, but you still said that mine was a surprise.
Yeah, but mine's because she crashes.
And mine's just...
But she's going to be flying. 2 purples. She was going to usurp she who will not be named at the top.
Alright.
Don't know why. Chadwick's
So
Voldemort
you've done
now,
your
but
P7 now, haven't you? So I'll do my P7
Yeah, go on.
and P6. P7 is Jess Hawkins. She's had a bit of a mixed season, but I think a decent point back from her. And then P6, Belen Garcia has looked very good in that. What's it called?
She's
Confury.
yeah, I was going to say.
The Confuries both look good.
Yeah, to be fair, they've had a good season. P6 for me is Marta Garcia.
You've got the other Garcia.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shock, but because Belen has been the better performer, but Marta's still putting some good showing so far, and I think a P6 here would be a decent lap.
My top 5 consists of who I'd say are probably the best 5 drivers this year, and starting
I think
off
the
is
same here.
P5 Alice Powell.
Oh, low for our race winner last time out.
Yes, but I think the 4 drivers ahead of her are very quick.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, but interesting to see. You don't think she's going to use that to catapult herself? I think the problem is there's too much of a gap.
I think
she'll
I think
between the
I think she'll
races.
be good, but not as good as all the others.
Okay, fair enough. My P5 is Maria Marti. It's been a weird campaign. I wasn't expecting Marty to be up there, but she's looked very pacey so far this year. Yes, she's not always been able to be right up there, and yes, she's made a few mistakes that have cost her big points, but regardless, it's been a good showing, especially defying the expectation of many.
Yeah.
So, yeah, props from Maria Marti. I think she'll get another P5 here, a solid qualifying position.
P4, I have Beitske Visser. She's
P2 in the championship,
she's
I
had a
believe.
very good, she's had a very good season. Been very impressed with the Dutch driver.
P3 now after
and I think she's
House
going to push on and get herself a nice P4 in quali.
Yeah, I think we've got the same. Other than you've got Marty a little higher, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one left. I think we've got the top 4 in the championship are my top 4, not in the same order. But P4, I've got Alice Powell.
Yeah.
P2 in the championship right now. I don't think there's been too much of a gap between Budapest, so that's to really have an impact here. It's a completely different circuit as well, of course. So yeah, I don't know which way it's going to go, but I think Powell will struggle in qualifying. She could do really well in the race, but I think she'll struggle in qualifying.
Into my top 3, then I'm going to do them all at the same time because it is not the top 3 in the championship. But P3 is Nerea Marti, and which means it's an all British front row of Pulling and Chadwick. Who's first, you wonder? Well, it's a first W Series pole position for Abby Pulling, and Jane Chadwick will have to settle for P2.
Yeah, fair enough. I've got Visser P3. I've got Pulling best of the rest. I've got Chadwick on pole.
Shot.
It's got to be done. Jamie Chadwick's been absolutely unstoppable this year. She shouldn't be in the series next year because she's so good. She deserves that move up to a Formula 3, to a Formula 2 team. I'd probably say Formula 3 at this stage, but will she get it? Hopefully. But yeah, I mean, she's dominating at the moment. I'd expect her to take pole and win here. But let's get into those race predictions then, because I've got a big DNF to start us off. So I'll run through that. Beitske replacement.
Shot.
I think into turn 1, little bit nervy. Bang. Buster Matlin de Hoyt out the race. One utter shame. Really thought they were going to win if that hadn't happened. But yeah, big shot off the start. Because whoever's coming in is not going to have much experience with this car. We don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be Al Qurbassi, I believe is her name, or Maya Woig. But you'd imagine it would just be I don't think they'll even fill the seat, to be fair. But
carry on your back lot.
Yeah, then P15, Juju Noda, not been that impressive this year. P14, Chambers. Why have I just forgotten her? Chloe Chambers. There we go. Chloe Chambers. P14. It's not been a good showing again from her this year, and I think this race will be further example of that. P13. Bruna Tomaselli. She's going to be running in high points collision on the last lap between her and P12 Fabian Volvend. That'll drop him down the order, which will promote Marta Garcia to P11, and then Abby Eaton is going to get points in P10. Wow. You do yours now then.
18th Noda, 17th for Beitske replacement, 16th Moore, 15th Abby Eaton, 14th for Emily de Hoyst, 13th for Chambers, she's going to drop back, 12th for Bustamante, 11th for Tomaselli, and P10 is Jess Hawkins grabbing herself a point. Because you've done your P10, I'm going to carry on to my P9, which is Marta Garcia, cutting through from 13th on the grid to get herself 2 points.
Yeah, fair enough. My P9 is Sarah Moore, someone who's not had the greatest of seasons, but has somewhat gone under my radar, I'd say, because I was not thinking that Sarah Moore had 20 points to her name. When has she done that?
Don't know.
Because I don't remember any of those points, but yeah, I mean, it's not a bad season. P11, fairly middle of the road, ahead of some quick drivers, as we said, in likes of Tomaselli and, Chloe Chambers. But yeah, overall, not really mixing at the front, but a decent midfield driver. I think Sarah Moore's done well this year, and yeah, I've got a P9.
Into my P8, and I said she would cut through the grid, and from P15, it's Fabian Volvend getting herself into P8 and grabbing herself 4 points.
Yeah, fair enough. Fabian Volvend, decent season. I had her in the high points, then a crash with Bruna Tomaselli. As for my P8, though, Jess Hawkins is going to cut through the order and end up in P8. I'm impressed by Hawkins this year at times. At others, very unimpressed. I mean, at the start of the season, when we did our predictions video, I said that Hawkins was going to... Did I say win the championship? No, I think I went second.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been a calamity.
I don't know why you ever thought that.
I don't know. I just had faith in Jess Hawkins. Right. She was the Aston Martin... Well, I think she still is the Aston Martin development... test and reserve driver, whatever they call it. But... yeah, no, it's not really materialised for her this year. P8, still did some results, some points on the board, but nothing to write home about.
P7, I've got Nerea Marti, dropping back from P3. I think she's got a tough race, but still get herself a decent bunch of points.
Fair enough. P7, I've got Belen Garcia, recovering, qualified outside the top 10, but recovers to get up into P7. That will help her cement her place in that top group in the championship.
I've got Belen Garcia in P6, completing a Quant Fury 6-7. She's going to hold her position. A bit of a middle of the road race for her, but she'll be happy to get some more points on the board.
Yeah, fair enough. P6, Nerea Marti. Again, a very surprising season. I think she's going to continue that on. A P6 here, not really right at that sharp end, but a decent result. I think she'll do a lot of battling as well with my P5.
Into the top 5, and P5 for me is Beitske Visser, dropping back one from P4 due to unnamed driver cutting through the pack. Cutting through the pack, yes.
That probably works
P5
better than cutting herself. But yeah, P5. I've got Abby Pulley. I think she'll be battling with Marty, but still be able to hold on to that P5. From P2 though, it's a disappointing result. But there's been some drivers that have been very strong, and I think will usurp her. Disappointing not to be on the podium, but still a good 10 points for Abby Pulley. Is going to see her drop a little further away from Visser and Powell, but I still think P4 in this championship would be a good result for her.
P4 in the race, however, for me, is going to Emma Kimmel-Island, and she is going to cut her way through the grid from P9.
A lot of drivers cutting through.
She'll be very happy with that job. Yes, because I feel like I've put all the not great drivers in good and quality, and they're going to fall back in the race.
Okay, fair enough. P4, I've got Beitske Visser. Again, as much as she's had a good season, no one's near Chadwick, which I think diminishes everyone's season. Because realistically, someone should be more than, what's the gap now? 68 to 143. That's like 75, right? Yeah. It's just not been good enough from anyone, really.
That's 3 race wins with Chadwick doing it.
That is. So Chadwick can win the championship this weekend.
Oh yeah, she wins.
I mean, if anything, if as long as she scores a point,
Oh yeah, she scores.
She pretty much wins it, doesn't she?
So
outscores.
We both
Visser.
now have.
Well, I think we might. But yeah, P4 Visser, I think she's going to lose the championship this weekend.
Right.
And she's going to drop a place to my P3. But before I get into that, why don't you run me through your top 3?
I've got a podium of Powell pulling Chadwick. In what order, you may ask? It's Abby pulling P3, dropping back from Powell. It's Alice Powell in P2. And on her way to confirming the W Series title for a second time.
Well, you're wrong there.
Third time.
Third consecutive championship.
Time. I forgot. She's won it so many times I've forgotten. But winning it for the third time with Jamie Chadwick wrapping it up with 3 rounds to
The only one to ever win in W Series, to win the championship in W Series. Continuing that on this year, you'd imagine. P3, I've got Alice Powell. P2, Emma Kimmerleinen. Brilliant drive from 7th on the grid. So good pace. She's looked really good at straight circuits this year, Kimmerleinen. I think back to Miami, where she was particularly impressive until I think she got punted on the last lap by Marty.
In race 1, she completely did and locked up and let Chadwick through. And got through.
But what happened in
the second one?
I swear she came together with someone.
Yeah, Powell, her and Powell.
That was Powell, it, not Marty. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, definitely has some pace at straight circuits. I think she'll be really quick here. Seems to be a driver that has absolutely no fear, but nobody is catching Jamie Chadwick. I don't care how much fear or how much lack of fear you've got. No one's catching Jamie Chadwick. She'll
wrap up the championship this week.
Yeah, and even if someone was to try and fight her, I don't think she's going to be like defending into every corner, especially if it's Kimmerleinen who's not in that championship fight.
I mean, despite Chadwick, obviously.
But yeah, we're both confirmed Jamie Chadwick world champion.
Yeah, we still have 2 rounds to go. We've still got.
And hopefully, we could see someone else win.
Maybe
that would be nice.
Yeah, it would change of the guard.
We go Mexico, don't we?
Oh yeah,
I think it's Cota and then doubleheader at Mexico.
Yeah, that's the one.
There's still 3 races.
So someone could still win it if they outscore Chadwick.
Well, no, but it's now 75. So if anyone outscores Chadwick, then yes. So but we both have her winning. Yeah. And is there points for Powell? No, there's not. No, okay. If not, she should confirm the championship before we even get in the race online. But yeah, no, that is all for today. Of course, we will be tuning into the W Series race on the Sunday and then bringing you our review on Monday. So look out for that on Monday morning. And yeah, that is all from us today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.